Best-selling business author Malcolm Gladwell now saying he's ashamed of his previous support at a 2022 MIT panel for men and women's sports. He says he was, quote, cowed into being dishonest about this by the far left. Joining us now, former Michigan GOP gubernatorial candidate and podcast host Tudor Dixon. Tudor, what's your reaction when you heard this? Because even on prima facie evidence, couldn't he have seen that women were getting physically injured by men and women's sports? Plus, men and women's sports were denying these women things like advertising opportunities or even scholarships, too.
Yeah, it's very frustrating to have someone come out and say, you know what, I was wrong back then, and I was lying to you because I was afraid of the left. So many of us have had to stand up against the left and say, this is wrong. It's common sense wrong. I'm glad he is coming out now. I'm glad that this conversation is being had right now. And I do think there are different permissions for these people right now. I think a lot of people feel like, well, some people have gone to that side and said, yeah, this isn't right. So now that there's safety in numbers, I will do it too. I wish that he had been willing to stand up when he needed to, because a lot of women suffered. But I will take it now and say, look, a lot more people need to stand up and say, it is not harmful to people to say women deserve their own category. And you are not trying to harm any community by saying you want to protect women's sports. That's common sense.
You know, Michael Schellenberg tweeted, quote, Malcolm Gladwell is one of the most influential and financially successful journalists of the last 30 years. For him to say he was too scared to say men don't belong in girls' sports shows how totalitarian the mainstream media is and how scared mainstream media journalists are. We have this attorney, Robert Freon, tweeting, Gladwell misrepresented what he felt because he wanted to please and satisfy people at that MIT conference. Is that how bad and just off the wall the far left has really become?
I mean, just take a look at the hearing today with Secretary Kennedy and what they're screaming at him, because he's saying, I just want to get to the bottom of this. I just want to be able to look at some of these things and see if the science adds up. And there is such a pushback on ever coming out and saying the far left might have been wrong, or even the left might be wrong on something. But isn't that the nature of the United States, that we can have open discussion and open debate, and that science should be openly debated? And yet there's been a side on the left that has said, no, we're going to shut down any debate. That is going away, but it has to continue to be fought. And people like this are so influential. I think it's fantastic to see it. I just wish more people would.
Okay, the Justice Department is ramping up its crackdown on gender-affirming care for minors. They're basically this legislation that's coming through. So is this now a sea change? Is this all going to go away? Is this going to stop?
I think it's still going to have to be a fight, but I do think that kids' health needs to be protected, and we have the right people in place right now, and the Trump administration is going to make sure that our children are protected.
Thank you so much. We got breaking news coming in. Tudor Dixon, you're terrific.